Hey guys, it's Stingdick here and welcome back to another video, and today we will be doing a behind the scenes to my Rapture Rising video that I made a while ago on the channel. Now, I got a comment asking for someone who wanted to see a behind the scenes to this video, so I did a poll and it looks like all you guys want to see this video. So if you haven't seen the Rapture Rising video, I'll probably put a link to it on the screen now. It's just an animation I made. It's not that good, but apparently you want to see behind the scenes to it, so I guess here we go. I would strongly recommend watching the video before you watch this. Okay, so we're starting off on the first shot. I know a lot of you actually don't really know how animation works. I'll just give you very simple. Here we have one of Malek's many bones. If I move it, it moves. Boom. If I put a keyframe there... Oh, wait. Okay, problem is he's already got way too keyframes. So as you can see, this is the opening shot. I'm going to have to mute this because unfortunately I cannot play the music from the video in this because otherwise I can't monetize it. And preferably I would like to monetize this video. So I cannot play the music in this video. So I'm going to keep this muted. But yeah, this shot is pretty boring. I won't spend much time on this because this, if you've seen the actual animation, I'll put the actual shot on screen here. It's just Malek in a void floating around with this camera that kind of follows him around. Not much to see here. Okay, so we'll probably move on to the next one. Texture-wise, if I enable textures, I made this on my laptop. I'm currently using my PC. I no longer have the textures on this PC, meaning this is what happens when you don't have a texture in Blender. It will just go pink. So all the textures are missing for this shot. So I'll see you in the next one. Okay guys, here we are in the second shot of the entire animation. As we can see, we are in monkey business right here. I haven't imported everything from the map because that would take ages. I've mostly just furnished the part that you see. Now, this is for the part of the video where it goes, obey, obey, obey. And I'm not going to show every single shot of that because there are a lot of shots. But you can see this is just the first one with the monkey. Not very exciting, just goes obey. And then it goes up with all different characters. I did want to use cycles for this. I don't know what this would look like in cycles. Okay, not much difference. Yeah, pretty plain lighting. I did make this a while ago, guys. That's why quite a few things, they're not as high quality as I could probably do now. So yeah, it's generally not the best. But yeah, so here we have Mr. Murder Monkey. And he just goes, obey. Not very exciting. But what I will show you guys is the Chapter 4 ones. Because those are more interesting. Even though they just say obey. But I won't go through all the obeys because there are a lot of them. It's a bit boring. Okay guys, here we are in the mascot Mayhem Obey. This one has a bit of backstory. Now, the reason why I'm not doing the Torment Therapy one is because I stupidly, accidentally deleted that. But it's not that important. It's just the matron going obey and moving forwards. I won't spend too much time on these obey ones. They're not very exciting. Here we have my old, very bad Lucky model. As you can see, his rig sort of falls apart as he moves. Because this wasn't a very good model. I think the textures are going to be... Okay, no, the textures aren't corrupt for this one. I thought they'd also be corrupt. But this map has a lot of backstory. Because almost a year ago now, back right after I finished the Barely Buried possible gameplay, I was originally going to make a Joy Kill possible gameplay. And it never really happened. But this is the map... It's quite low quality because I made it almost a year ago. But this is the map that I had made for the Joy Kill possible gameplay that never actually happened. But yeah, you can see very bad model because at the time I hadn't made my more recent model. If you haven't seen that model, I'll put a picture on screen here. Still not great, but definitely an improvement from this one. This is boring, but originally in the possible gameplay video, I was gonna have this was gonna sort of be like how Joy Kill enters. You're gonna get the ring piece, you're gonna get off, and then this lifted up with Joy Kill in it. In fact, I think I've got a video of it, a render I did. I'll stick that on screen now. Once again, it's not very high quality because these are all sort of things like I'm still learning Blender. I'm not gonna act like I'm wise. In fact, it's about my 1 year anniversary from when I first started learning. I'm still a beginner. So yeah, don't expect much professional stuff. And anyway, I made this animation a while ago, so it's not very high quality. Moving on to Barely Buried. Okay, here we are in Barely Buried. This is the first model of a Chapter 4 character I ever made that I would actually consider to be a bit good. It's not great. Textures-wise, it's awful. It looks better like this. But it's the first one I made that I would actually be considered good. Now, this map, I did not put all this effort into making a Barely Buried map that I didn't use. This is not for a possible gameplay. This has a different backstory. Okay, some of you may or may not know the game that I'm making, Dark Disillusion. This, I'll put a link to it in the description. Please follow it. It's hopefully going to be great. It's going very well so far. This is an old map I made for it. This is the ring altar room. I've improved a lot since I made this, hence why I'm no longer using it, because I feel like I can make a much... Well, the current map's a lot better than this, but it still follows this main principle for the ring altar room. So yeah, this map was originally going to be the ring altar room for Dark Disillusion. I've made a new one now. It's much better. I'm not going to show anything because of spoilers. But yeah, that is the room that I used for the Mama Bear shot that you can see here. The reason why it's running at such a low FPS at this part is because it's a very high poly model, like stupidly high poly. If I go into wireframe, you can see all of the polys on Mama Bear. She's way too high poly. It's not a great model, but it's definitely my first one that I'd consider to be good. You know, like not great, but good. But yeah, just that's it for the obeys. Good news. Actually, are there any more? Is there one more? No, this is the last. No, this is the last one, guys. Okay, so now we're moving on to the more exciting shots, and I'll see you in the shot that took me 7 hours to make. Okay, guys, I'll quickly put a quick clip of this shot on screen, and instantly, I'm sure you can tell why it took so long, because that is loud. One sec, guys. I've muted it for copyright reasons, so you can't hear it, but I can, and it's loud. Why is it still playing? Okay, I can no longer hear it. As you can see, yeah, the entire ballroom gets sucked away. I managed to break the ballroom up into individual little pieces. Yeah. And some of them are bigger like that one. And I animated every single... These are big. I'm grabbing big ones. It's being a bit underwhelming. But yeah, into tiny pieces. And I animated every single piece. You can see every piece here in the side. These are all of the pieces that I broke the ballroom up into. One sec, let me just scroll through them all. Whoop, whoop. Those are every single piece of the ballroom. I keep grabbing big ones and making it look underwhelming. I'm going to stop now. Yeah. And yeah, so some of you, if you're experienced with Blender, you may know a thing called simulations. Simulations are basically where you can apply artificial simulated physics onto an object in Blender, or I know other software has them too, but I use Blender. I don't use SFM, Vince. That pissed me off so much when Vince recognized my video. He posted it on Twitter, but he said it was SFM. Ugh. But yeah, okay, that's not important. But basically, simulations can simulate physics, and I could have used simulations to make this entire shot, and it would have been a lot quicker and possibly looked better. However, you may or may not know, I was using a laptop back when I made this, because it was a few months ago now that I made this, and that laptop would not be able to handle simulations, so I had to do this all manually, which was a bit painful. Like I said earlier, it did take 7 hours. Little fun fact, wait, are there still textures? Yeah, we still got textures. Okay, this space is just a circle, well, a sphere. All these rocks that you see flying out of here, they just go back and forth to give the simulation that they're constantly flying through. You can see every single piece just sort of stops here. Wait, when they come out, give it a sec. Yeah, they all just sort of stop, because they all have like 3 keyframes each, or 2 in this case. Like, they all just sort of stay there, then they all fly out. It took me a long time to animate every individual piece though, and was a little bit painful. Would I do it again? No. But at the same time, I am so happy with how this shot came out. I love it. I tried, it's hard when there's that many pieces to animate, but I tried to get a realistic physics look to it, how first you sort of get the roof sucked into the void, which sort of triggers a lot of the supports to kind of be pulled away. You can also see the ring altar sort of hanging on a bit here. You also see earlier on the back all gets sucked out, which kind of is what causes the roof to be a bit wobbly, which then gets pulled back. And you can see all the pillars get pulled with it, and then, need I say more? Yep, destruction. But yeah, that's definitely the shot that I'm most proud of out of every shot in the animation. I'll move on to the next one now. Okay, I'll quickly show this shot. It's nothing special, this one. It's a pretty plain one. All the ones from here on out, well, there's a few cool ones that I like, but, yeah, as you can see, nothing special. Just Titan Watcher, all that stuff, yeah. Once again, I would like to point out, It may not be that high quality, but I made this a while ago. I still couldn't do something great now, but I could definitely make something better than this now. But little fun fact, this is the camera, by the way. For those of you who don't know Blender, that is the camera. These are lights. That's how Blender works. This is, right now what I'm in is solid view. It won't show any of the textures. It's just generally so it runs better, you know. Here it is with textures. Here it is with lighting. This is once again rendered in Eevee. For those of you who don't know, Eevee is basically the sort of doesn't require that much specs on your computer to run, whereas Cycles, which is probably, I didn't build this lighting for Cycles, as you can see it kind of takes a while to load in, because Cycles is the more realistic one, but it's also a lot more demanding. For instance, that is why my most recent possible gameplay took over 2 days to render, because I've rendered it all out in Cycles, which takes a long time. But yeah, this shot's nothing special. You can just sort of see camera goes across here, comes up over the hedge maze, and then boom, Titan Watcher. Yeah, that's nothing special. I suppose we will move on to the next one. And here we are in the circus. This is, I'll quickly play the shot now. This is the hanging scene with the clown gremlin that I couldn't quite get to look right. Yay! Okay, so here we have, I'll move back a bit because that's kind of a spoiler. Here we have clown gremlin. Boom, he's pulling a rope. As you can see, I don't know how, okay, yeah. You can see he's pulling up a rope, and boom, turns, okay, he's hanging Doug. Now, little problem. I was trying to get Doug silhouetted, right? Originally, I had Doug over here being hung and a light shining on him. Unfortunately, I could never get the shadow to look sharp enough, meaning I had to find another way to simulate a shadow, which means I use this stupid way where I actually have a model of him that's completely black, and it doesn't look good. It doesn't look like a shadow. It just looks like he's being hung and he's completely in darkness. It could look worse, frankly. It doesn't look too bad. Once again, Cycles would look a lot better. Here's a good difference between Eevee and Cycles. If we go into Cycles, you can see just it will take a while to sort of get everything looking decent, but you can see it generally looks a lot better the way light bounces. It would have been better if I could have rendered this whole thing out in Cycles. It would have also taken a lot longer, but it can do a lot for its Cycles. But yeah, nothing much else to show you here, guys, except for, I suppose, a little behind the scenes view from a different angle. Camera turns, he gets hung. Nothing much. I also wanted to have like these moving lights. You can see up there, those are the lights, they're moving. This is actually running back in real time, which is nice in rendered view. That is rare. I quite like, oh god, my voice cracked. I quite like how the lights look, sort of moving around. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. However, it would look better in Cycles, because the light would bounce more, and it generally just looks more realistic and more appealing in Cycles. But unfortunately, back when I made this, I didn't have a very good computer, which means I couldn't have rendered these all out in Cycles. Okay, on to the next shot. Bye! Here we are, guys, Stranger Sewers, and the second to last shot. I quite like this shot, definitely not my favourite, not my least favourite, it's okay. It's pretty simple, just camera flies around a bit, and boom, Doom Ducky. I like this bit. If you couldn't tell, once again, I can't use simulations. Nowhere near as complex, but the door used a similar method of being destroyed, where I animated every individual piece. But it's not like the ballroom. The ballroom was just hell. That was pretty easy. Okay, textures are corrupt by the looks of it, so can't show you much here. But I guess I will show you. Doom Ducky is mega clipping. The reason why I stuck the another part of the sewers here is just because you could see a little bit, I think, around the duck. You can see you'll see him go through the wall there. There he is, and boom. Yeah. Nothing much to see there. Pretty plain, but yeah, okay. We're moving on to, actually, it's not the last shot, is it? What have I missed? Oh, wait, no, there are a few more shots, aren't there? I completely forgot, guys. Sorry, okay, see you in the next one. Here we have a not very interesting shot. This is just Maluk walking. It's pretty simple. Although there is a little Easter egg here, is the fact that Maluk is not moving. Yup, I don't know why. Well, I guess it makes it simpler. But the corridor is what is moving. Maluk is not moving. Are there textures? There are not textures. That's always very disappointing when I look and find out there are no textures. But yeah, there are no textures. Okay, see you in the next one. I don't like this shot. Partially because if you couldn't tell, which a lot of people I notice don't notice, that this is supposed to be the sacrifice scene with Beers. Like, I'm sure if you know a decent amount about Dark Deception, you know she supposedly sacrificed the mayor's daughter, kind of selling her soul to Malik in the process. You'll see a lot of people don't notice because I didn't make it clear enough. She's holding a knife. There's a hand. Fun fact about this hand, this is Heather from Monsters Immortals / Silent Hill. This doesn't look right, but if it's not in shot, it doesn't have to look right, okay? You'll especially learn that in a shot I'm about to show you in a bit, guys, okay? If it's not in shot, it don't matter. Because, like, yes, she's going through the floor, but you don't see it, so it don't matter. Yes, she's a character from Silent Hill, but you don't see it, so it don't matter. Here's the main reason why I don't like this shot. Not only because you don't properly notice what's going on, at least most people I've spoke to about it haven't. But you'll notice, Beers lifts up the knife. What was that? That is the most poorly animated thing I've ever made. That is the most light stab in the world. It looks more like a push. I think this is the main reason why a lot of people don't realise she just stabbed a child. Because it's just so weak. It's a little push. It's awful. I hate it. But, yeah, it exists. And now she's scared. Oh, no. You might notice, if you've seen this shot before, which I will put on screen earlier, probably. I probably already put it on screen. Malik is behind her. Little fun fact about that. When the lighting changes and stuff, are the textures there? No, partially. Little fun fact is that that's a completely different shot that it keeps flicking to. I will get that shot up now. That is the wrong shot. Here we go. This is the wrong shot still. Great. Here we go. This is the last part of the shot with a few textures. Not that many textures. And it's completely red and it's got Malik. And he don't move, but it don't matter because he just strobes into existence. As you can see in the clip that I will show now. I don't know if I'm going to be showing clips. We'll have to see when I'm editing this. Will I show clips? I don't know. Next shot, fun fact, I'm lazy. I reused it, so I don't know where I saved that shot. That shot is reused from my Joy Gang voice reveal animation thing. I reused that shot because I was lazy and I just wanted to finish this animation. Because it took me a month, however, it didn't take me a month of constant work. I sort of worked on it whenever I felt like it, you know, so it wasn't like a full month of constantly working on it. I might have to make something. My voice keeps cracking. I might have to make something similar to this in the future because I could make something a lot better now, and also I could use cycles. But if you look at my most recent possible gameplay, I'm sure you can believe I can make better quality stuff than this now. I am showing you something that I made a while back, so I can do better a bit, not much better. I'll be able to do better in the future. Here we have the final shot. This is the shot that looks the strangest when you're not looking at it from the camera's perspective. Let me just close this rendering thing. Here we have the final shot. We have Doug here. And everybody else here. This shot has a fun story. Basically, when I animate shots, firstly I'll just show you the shot on screen here. When I animate shots, well, when I used to animate shots, and in fact I still sometimes do it, I tend to animate the shot before I do the map, just for performance reasons. So yeah, I tend to animate the shot before I put in the map for performance reasons. I originally was going to do this as Crazy Carnival. I later decided to do it as the ballroom. Problem is, these stairs, and they're all on the same level at every point. You can see here, Doug's floating. That's not what I want. I didn't want Doug to be floating, for obvious reasons, because who wants Doug to be floating? If Doug could float, Dark Deception would be too easy. But here we have, shot, they're walking. Oh, yay, they're on the floor. Oh no, we're about to turn to Doug. Oh no. Oh wait, he's no longer floating. Because as the camera moves, so does the entire bloody ballroom. We can see here, give it a sec. boom, the ballroom moves up. Because you can no longer see the monsters and you can only see Doug. That is called a life hack. This is also poorly animated, but I love it. Oh, and this shot has one more funny Easter egg, and that is whatever this monstrosity is. When they grab hands at the end, same shot. But fun fact, why would I, when you only see their wrists, why would I painstakingly animate them realistically leaning towards each other and grabbing hands when they're this distance away? Why would I possibly do that when I can just do this? It's lovely, I know. I think Doug needs help. I don't know. So there's something going on here. But yeah, that is the final shot. I hope you guys liked it, and I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I've secretly wanted to make a behind the scenes to something for a while, so I thought it would be a really fun idea. But yeah, you asked for this, so I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Let me know if you want to see any more behind the scenes stuff, or if there's anything that maybe I missed out that you'd quite like to know. See you in the next one. Please subscribe. Bye!